Okay, so you know how sometimes you look at a resume and you're like, yeah, okay, another one.
Right.
This is not one of those times.
Definitely not.
We are diving into a resume that reads like a tech spec sheet crossed with like an adventure novel.
Mm-hmm.
This is Cruz Macias.
Yes, Cruz Macias, and let me tell you, this is not your average resume. He uses this really unique system where he quantifies his expertise like an actual percentage.
Genius.
I know, right?
Because a quick glance and you know exactly what we're dealing with.
Hey,
20%, okay, dipped his toes in, maybe what, about a year of experience?
Yeah, something like that.
But 100%.
No, that's 5+ years.
Really?
Daily mastery.
This man, Cruz, he's got those 100% racked up, like, trophies. Seriously.
He's got the skills to back it up, that's for sure. I mean, look at his list. Just look at it. You've got Python, Java, both at 100%.
Yeah, those are like the bread and butter of, what, back-end development, web applications.
Absolutely. And then you factor in that he's currently an Oracle Cloud developer. It's no shocker that he's mastered Oracle databases and those integration tools, too. Again, 100% across the board.
It's like he single-handedly built his own IT department skill by skill.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He doesn't just stop at Oracle. He's got the Microsoft tech stack down.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Google Cloud, too. And the databases, cybersecurity tools, project management methodologies. I mean, this is someone who clearly knows what he's doing.
He's like the Swiss Army knife of tech, you know?
Yeah.
He's got a tool for every situation. But, okay, let's move past just the skills themselves for a second, because what I find really interesting is how Cruz's actual career, his journey, it's like a roadmap to where tech is going.
I see what you mean.
He's always one step ahead.
Totally. It's like he can see into the future of tech.
Okay, so he's currently at UC Health, right?
Yep. September 2022, he started there as an IT programmer analyst, and from what I gather, he's specialized as an Oracle Cloud developer.
Working remotely.
Remotely, which, by the way, is becoming more and more common these days, especially in tech.
Makes sense. But hold on, before UC Health, he was at Textel CX.
You got it, as a product support engineer, also remotely. That was a shorter stint, though, from January to June 2021.
Shorter, but definitely not less significant. He was developing something called microservices.
Yeah, microservices. They're basically like, think of them as the building blocks for creating those really large, complicated applications.
So, again, cutting-edge stuff.
Absolutely. He was working with the latest technology, no doubt. And, you know, you can really see his career trajectory starting to take shape when you look at his time at American Services.
Oh, yeah, before Textel CX. He was there from November 2019 to November 2020 as an IT programmer analyst, again, working remotely. It's like he's been prepping for this big, you know, remote work world all along.
Right. He was ahead of the curve, for sure. But you know what really caught my eye?
What's that?
His time at Pepsi Mid-America.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one, right?
It is. He was an application programmer, an Oracle and PeopleSoft developer from September 2017 to November 2019.
Okay, so he was already deep in the Oracle world at this point.
Oh yeah, he was already an Oracle Pro. But here's the thing. He wasn't just coding away in some back office.
What else was he doing?
He was the administrator of their timekeeping system.
Timekeep.
Yeah, timekeeping, like clocking in and clocking out.
Wait, so he went from high-level programming to managing time clocks.
It's not as simple as it sounds. We're talking about a company with probably tons of distribution centers, all using those biometric hand scanners.
Oh, right, those things. So he was dealing with like a whole network of those scanners.
Exactly. Plus the software, the data, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so not exactly your grandpa's time clock.
Exactly. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. Remember how we talked about Cruz always being ahead of the game? Well, check this out. While he was at Pepsi Mid-America, he was involved in data recovery pertaining to a legal settlement. And while the resume doesn't explicitly say so, we did a little digging.
You always do your homework.
Had to. Anyway, it turns out this whole thing was related to something called the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act. BIPA, they call it.
RIPA.
Yep. It's basically all about protecting people's biometric information. Fingerprints, facial scans, all that. And apparently, it caused quite a stir in the legal world.
So Cruz was dealing with some pretty serious stuff there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. He was managing a system that collected this super sensitive biometric data, and then BIPA comes along, changing the rules of the game. Suddenly, he's not just a tech guy. He's got lawyers breathing down his neck.
It's like he went from setting the clock to navigating a legal minefield.
That's a great way to put it.
But okay, hold on. Back up a second before we dive into the legal weeds.
Sure.
You mentioned Pepsi. Mid-America wasn't his first rodeo. What about Americana Financial Group? Wasn't he developing stuff there too?
Oh, you're right. He was there before Pepsi even.
What was he up to there?
He was developing training protocols and teaching agents how to use their software.
So not just building the car, he was writing the driver's manual too.
Exactly. And think about it. That experience probably helped him develop some killer communication and instructional skills.
Yeah.
Which, let me tell you, those are worth their weight in gold in any field, but especially in this remote working world of tech where you're not always face-to-face.
For sure. So we've got this incredible coder who can also wrangle data, navigate legal hurdles, and teach others how to do it all.
And we haven't even gotten to the really impressive part yet. His dedication to continuous learning. This guy is the definition of a lifelong learner.
Oh yeah, he didn't just stop at a bachelor's degree, did he?
Not even close. He went on to earn his Master of Science in Computer Science from Eastern Kentucky University. And get this, his concentration was in cybersecurity and digital forensics.
Talk about a niche. He really knows his stuff.
Oh, and I almost forgot. He also snagged a graduate certificate in cybersecurity and digital forensics from the same university. This guy's a walking cybersecurity encyclopedia.
It's clear that for Cruz, graduation wasn't the finish line. It was just the starting block.
Exactly. He understands that in the tech world, if you're not constantly learning and evolving, you're falling behind.
And it's not just formal education either. We're talking certifications galore. Dell Certified Systems Expert, a whole slew of Oracle University certifications. The list goes on and on.
Honestly, it's inspiring to see that kind of dedication. It tells me that he's not just doing this for a paycheck. He's genuinely passionate about technology and pushing himself to be at the forefront of the field.
It's like he sees learning as an adventure, you know?
Yeah.
Always exploring new territories in the vast world of tech.
That's a great analogy. But you know what's even more impressive? He doesn't just hoard all this knowledge for himself. He shares it.
What do you mean?
While he was working towards his master's degree, which, let's be real, is a full-time job in itself, he was also a tutoring center supervisor at Northern Illinois University.
No way. Talk about multitasking.
Right. And as if that wasn't enough, he was also a mathematics tutor at Kishwaukee College at the same time. It's clear that teaching isn't just a side gig for him. It's a calling.
So we've got this crazy combination of cutting-edge technical skills, a constant thirst for knowledge, and a passion for teaching. It's like he's almost too good to be true, right?
Right. But there's one more layer to this story that we haven't even touched yet. So we've got this incredible coder who can also wrangle data, navigate legal hurdles, and teach others how to do it all.
And you said there's another layer.
Oh, there's more. Believe me.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on his personal coding projects.
You mean like the stuff he does for fun?
Exactly. Because who needs to relax after work when you can code a Bitcoin API Python application?
Okay, first of all, ouch, my brain. Second of all, that's pretty impressive. A Bitcoin API? What even is that?
It's basically a way for different software systems to talk to each other and share information about Bitcoin transactions.
Ah, so he's diving deep into the world of cryptocurrency.
Deeper than most. And he's not just dabbling. He's got another project, a CoinDesk Java project.
CoinDesk, as in the news website.
The one and only.
So is he like building his own cryptocurrency news aggregator or something?
It's possible. We don't have all the details, but the point is, this isn't your average Hello World coding project.
Definitely not. It's like he's building the tech equivalent of a Michelin star meal in his spare time.
Exactly. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more impressive, there's this. A Suno AI API gospel music generation Python application.
Wait, hold on. He's using AI to generate gospel music.
That's what it looks like.
Okay, now, that is seriously cool and unexpected. It's like this fascinating intersection of faith, music, and cutting-edge technology.
Right. It tells you that he's not just a tech whiz, he's also a creative thinker, someone who sees the connections between seemingly disparate fields.
It's like he's got all these different gears turning in his head, and somehow they all mesh together. But he's not keeping all of this genius to himself, is he? He's sharing these projects on GitHub, right?
You know it. That's the hallmark of a true collaborator, someone who understands that knowledge is meant to be shared. He's contributing to the open source community, allowing others to learn from his work and maybe even build upon it.
It's like he's saying, hey, I figured this out. Come join the party.
Exactly. He's all about paying it forward, which makes sense when you consider his passion for teaching.
It's true. It's like this common thread that runs through everything he does, whether he's formally mentoring students or sharing his code with the world. There's this desire to empower others.
To lift as he climbs.
Yeah, exactly. But, as much as I love geeking out over his coding skills and his dedication to learning, I keep coming back to that whole Pepsi Mid-America situation.
The BEA thing.
Yeah. It's like this unexpected plot twist in a tech thriller. I mean, it's one thing to be a coding wizard, but to navigate the complexities of biometric privacy law, that's a whole other level.
It really highlights the increasing importance of ethics in the tech world.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just build cool stuff anymore. You have to think about the implications, the potential consequences.
Right, because technology is advancing so rapidly, it's easy to get caught up in the what and forget about the why and the how.
And to me, that's what makes Cruz's experience with Vitae so compelling. It shows that he's not just concerned with building things, he's concerned with building them responsibly.
And that he's not afraid to step up and handle a crisis.
Yeah.
But we're only just scratching the surface of this Vitae thing.
Yeah.
What were the specifics of the case? What role did Cruz play in resolving it? And what can we learn from his experience? I think we need to dig deeper.
I'm with you on that. This Vitae situation, it's like a window into the ethical dilemmas that are becoming more and more common in the tech world, and I'm really curious to see how Cruz handled it. All right, so let's talk Vitae.
Let's do it.
We've mentioned it a few times, this whole Biometric Information Privacy Act thing.
Right.
But for those of you who haven't gone to law school for fun,
Like some of us.
what is it exactly?
So basically, Vitae, it's all about protecting your biometric information. I hope I'm talking fingerprints, facial scans, those iris scans they do in spy movies, all that fun stuff.
the stuff that makes you.
Exactly. And what makes it so sensitive is that it's like impossible to change, right? You can get a new credit card, but you can't exactly get a new face.
Okay, that's a little creepy, but I get it.
The point is, it's powerful stuff, this biometric data, and Vitae wants to make sure companies are handling it responsibly.
So no more using my face scan to target me with ads for, like, anti-aging cream.
Well, that's not exactly what it's about, but you get the idea. Vitae lays down the law on how companies can collect, store, use all of that.
Got it. So back to Cruz at Pepsi Mid-America. He was basically walking a tightrope with this whole timekeeping system thing, right?
Oh, yeah, big time. Remember, he was managing a system that collected biometric data, those hand scans.
And then Vitae swoops in, changing the rules of the game.
Exactly. And while his resume keeps things pretty vague about the specifics,
As resumes tend to do.
we do know Pepsi Mid-America had to settle a legal case related to Vitae.
Right, which makes you wonder, what exactly happened there? Did they mess up? Did they not even know about Vitae? Was it a whole big thing?
We don't know the juicy details, but here's the key thing. Cruz was involved in the data recovery for that settlement.
So not just fixing a software glitch, this was serious business.
Oh, yeah, this wasn't some routine IT fix. This was like damage control.
Wow, so he was dealing with legal headaches on top of everything else.
Sounds like it, which honestly makes his story even more impressive.
Right, talk about a crash course in high-stakes problem solving. Seriously. It shows he can handle pressure, think on his feet, and navigate those tricky waters where tech meets the law. Those are some invaluable skills.
They are, and it really speaks to this bigger idea, right?
Yeah.
It's not enough to just be good at tech anymore.
Not even close.
You have to be ethical, responsible, all of that.
Absolutely, because technology is powerful, and with great power comes, well, you know the rest.
Great responsibility.
Bingo, and it seems like Cruz gets that. He's not just building things, he's thinking about the impact, the consequences.
Which honestly is pretty refreshing to see.
It really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the incredible resume of Cruz Macias, I think we've uncovered something really important.
What's that?
The best resumes, they're not just about skills and jobs, they're about character.
100% agree. They tell a story. They show you who someone is, what they value, what they're capable of.
And in Cruz's case, that story's pretty darn impressive.
It is. So the next time you're staring at a resume, don't just skim the surface. Dig a little deeper. Look for the story behind the bullet points, because you never know what you might find.
You might just be looking at the next tech superstar or legal eagle, or in Cruz's case, maybe a little bit of both.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating look at, well, whatever life throws at us. Thanks for listening.